Welcome back. This is The Pick.
Welcome back to the show, you guys.
And we're going to be talking about the 5 teams that impressed us so far in college football. And my first team is going to be Arizona State. They beat a pretty good Michigan State team last night, and that defense looked amazing. Offense kind of struggled, but that's a good Michigan State team. And yeah, Coach Herm Edwards, man, I've been kind of talking a lot of crap about him, saying that it was a bad hire, but so far, that's a really good hire in my eyes.
Yeah, man, they impressed me, man. Man, what can I say about that man, Keneal Henry? I think that's his name.
Yeah.
Man, he's a monster on the field. He can just go. He's one of those receivers. You could just throw it up to him, he'll go get it, man. And he made literally the key touchdown to win them that game.
They did. He did.
I do agree with him. I think their quarterback needs to be a little more accurate. There's a lot of passes that he overthrown, and
a lot of miscommunication with his
that
receivers
as well. That as well. But yeah, a lot of the passes, man, he was overthrowing. I agree with the announcer that was announcing the game. Why don't you rather throw it short so your receiver can have a chance to overthrow it? And he was doing that a lot. I think if he figures that out, he's going to be a great quarterback. I think he is already a pretty good quarterback. I think if he figures that out, he could be a great one to add along with that receiver they got, Henry. He's, like I said, he's a monster, man. And that defense for Arizona State is really solid, man. They were getting pressure on Michigan State's quarterback and just making him hurry up a lot and make passes he didn't want to throw. So, yeah, man, Arizona State, man, they could be a sleeper. And by the way, I love Herm Edwards, so I think that's a great move that they went out and got him. So, yeah, man, I think that program is definitely on the rise.
All right, Georgia's the next team that impressed me. They're haven't missed a beat. They dominated in both these games they played. They destroyed a fairly decent South Carolina team, and man, those Bulldogs are crazy good. And I'm not at all not confident they're not going to make the playoffs. I think it's definitely an opportunity.
Yeah, man, like you said, I don't think they missed a beat. If there's a little flaw, I would say they have is a little bit on defense because they missed a lot of defensive players. But man, that offense, man, it didn't look like they missing any pieces. Even at running back, the running back's looking solid. Jake Fromm is looking really good, man. Yeah, they just shredded, like he said, a pretty good South Carolina team. So man, yeah, they just look like they're going to keep rolling.
All right, Stanford, the next team we talk about. They've been impressive these first 2 games. They struggled a little bit against San Diego State, but San Diego State has a pretty good defense. 2, their strategy was take Bryce Love out of the game at all cost, and their quarterback and receivers ate that team alive. And on this game, Bryce Love had a pretty good game against USC. He looked like old Bryce Love, and that defense dominated USC and made the freshman quarterback look like a freshman quarterback. And so they're one of the impressive teams, I think, and they're definitely a top 10 team.
Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat. I think the thing that impressed me most with Stanford was the defense. I wasn't quite sure on how well their defense was going to be this year, and man, they're proving me wrong. They're really good. Yeah, I expected Bryce Love to bounce back and have another good season, and he so far he struggled in the first game, but he's definitely had a bounce back game in this one. I think what I really like about him the most is they like to do a lot of tosses to him, and I think that's great because it sets up the line and it gets them moving, and he could just that's a good thing about Bryce Love is he can find those gaps, and once he finds those gaps, he's gone. So yeah, man, if they can keep giving him those gaps and that defense plays like they're playing, man, Stanford could easily be a sleeper team for the playoffs.
Yeah, other sleeper team for the playoffs is LSU. They dominated the Miami. That first game, that defense ate that team alive. And the thing is, what the LSU struggled for years and years is having a consistent quarterback, and they might have that finally.
Yes, sir.
He played really great against Miami, and that defense just ate them alive.
Yeah, man, I'm in the same boat. Literally, I have the same thing that he's going to say is, man, what impressed me the most is quarterback play. He's right, man. LSU's been struggling to find a quarterback to be consistent, and I think they might have found one, man. If he keeps playing like he he's been, then yeah, they got themselves one. Me and him already knew their defense was going to be established, and it's proven that. And yeah, that was kind of their niche is, can they find a quarterback to lead that offense? And it looked like they got one. And if he continues to be the player that we are watching now, that LSU team is going to be even more scary than we thought.
Alrighty, now last team we're going to talk about is Oklahoma.
Boom, soon.
And they really impressed me so far this season. That offense has not missed a beat for the most part. Running game played really great first game. UCLA kind of stuffed us a little bit in the second game. Ronnie Anderson got hurt. ACL, PCL, I don't know exactly what injury he has, but yeah, first season. So that's going to definitely hurt Oklahoma. But the biggest storyline so far for this Oklahoma Sooners is that defense. That defense has been dominant against these first two teams. Now, I am a diehard OU fan. I'm not going to hide that, but I want to see us play against a few better teams. And if we play it great again, then I definitely think we turned the corner. I think Mike Stoops has turned the corner. Kenneth Murray has been great, especially the second game. Our defensive line is doing their job. Our secondary played great. So, yeah, I definitely think that Oklahoma is definitely a playoff and championship contending team.
Yeah, first thing I have to say is, yeah, what he just said is perfect. We're not going to try to get too far ahead because it's just 2 games and both of these teams weren't all that, but still, from what we saw, they look elite, man.
Yeah.
Our offense, that was my big question, is what are we going to get out of Kyler Murray? And he looked great. A lot of these passes he threw were dimes, like, oh man, like on point. There's several times I rewinded some throws that he threw, and I was like, holy crap, man. He's really impressed me. I knew he could run. That was one thing I knew he could do, and he's doing that well, like I knew he would. But yeah, the passing game was where I kind of had the question mark for him, and he's impressed me a lot with that. Defense, man, has really also impressed me. That's been our issue for these many years of our great organization. Is defense has kind of been our issue, and they look fast. They're real sound. They on tackling. They what I love is they wrap up. They ain't worried about a big hit or nothing like that. They're wrapping up, tackling you, and getting you down, and that's what I really like in the defense. And our linebacker Murray, really fast and dominant, man. So I'm excited for our team. And of course, before I wrap this up, I got to send my condolences to Rodney Anderson. He's an amazing player. I love him, and he's hurt, and it sucks, man. But hopefully he can bounce back, man, and get things figured out.
Alrighty, well, that's going to conclude our episode.
And please like, subscribe, and comment down below. We'd love to hear from you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, this is The Pick.